I'm Susan Page, Washington Bureau Chief of USA Today, and this is Capitol Download. We're on the set of the CBS show, Madam Secretary with the two stars, Téa Leoni and Tim Daly, or as they're known on the show, Secretary of State Elizabeth McCord and Professor Henry McCord. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us.
So last month, Capitol Download was in New York to interview former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. And I have to ask you these rampant speculation that you have really modeled your character on Kissinger.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes. Well, I mean,
That's
I think
not true.
It's obvious if you look at me that clearly I had Kissinger in mind when I was designing Elizabeth McCord. Policy-wise, I think I've just stolen from everybody.
Now, to look at you, people might say you look a little more like Hillary Clinton. And of course, that's been one of the lines of questions I'm sure you've gotten over and over again. Do you see any of Hillary Clinton in your character?
Well, I think in a lot of ways, you know, people were very curious about what politician sort of inspired my ideas for this character. And truthfully, I didn't really go for a politician. Elizabeth McCord is not a lifetime politician and not ambitious. And I think more about the women, particularly the women who've raised me. My grandmother, my mother, they were much more influential, but no one in my family has blonde hair, so I will give that one to Hillary.
Tim Daly, you portray the spouse of a powerful politician. There's another show, The Good Wife, which started out being very much about that as well, and clearly based on Eliot Spitzer's experience. Did you have anybody in mind for your character?
Not really. You know, it's interesting because I find that the easiest place to go with this show is that Elizabeth McCord is a role model, right? This woman who takes on this job that she gets through unusual circumstances and does it in an unusual way. But I think that what I like about Henry, first of all, I've never seen a religious scholar portrayed on television anywhere. But also, I think that there's a chance to have him be even a more influential role model than the character of Elizabeth, because I think it's time that men kind of embraced and got over the fact that they're going to be married to women who are powerful or who make more money or who have more notoriety than them, and they should celebrate that.
Or at least the TV gets over the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, you never get to...
And they should have enough confidence to be able to say, like, go, honey, you know, this is awesome, and not be threatened by the fact that their spouse is doing well.
Bill Clinton's a little like that.
I think so.
He's embraced the possibility. What appealed to you about
You did not model this.
I did not.
Oh,
no.
But he's a man who has a powerful wife and who has embraced the idea.
Yes.
Yeah. What appealed to you each about doing this series?
Well, it's a familiar territory for me in that it's a fish out of water. I kind of gravitate towards those types of roles. If they'd asked me to play a seated Secretary of State, well, they never would have asked me, let's be honest. So it was fun, this idea. There's a fantasy aspect to this roles because the idea of coming into one of the most powerful positions on earth and having a go at it with thinking outside the box and not going at it maybe the way it's traditionally meant to be done. And I do think as women we could be lauded a little bit more strongly for our inherent diplomatic skills. I mean, I think women are very well positioned for this job, and I wanted to celebrate that. And I think there's a lot on there that you can find. You can find the cynicism about people working on the Hill. And the truth is, I liked the idea that we could see this woman behind the position, to see her negotiate at home and negotiate a relationship. And I think, I don't know, there's a really kind of beautiful, hopeful humanity in the script. And I think that's more risque right now than the other.
How about for you?
Well, for a lot of the same reasons. You know, I think that unfortunately it's rare now to have a marriage on television that works. And I thought the family aspect of the show is what really sets it apart from a lot of the other political shows that are out there. The fact that these people are passionately committed to making this relationship work despite all the challenges that come and despite the changes that happen in their lives, becoming public people who have been private people. I just thought that was really interesting and, as I said, unfortunately unique.
So this is not a documentary series.
No, clearly not.
We're having too much fun.
Yeah.
But tell me what strikes you as being true and accurate about it, and what strikes you as being not true.
Well, I think first and foremost, the truth of raising a family today, what it is for a woman, what it is to be a mother, a working mother, that's very much, I think, as spectacular as her job is, her circumstance may be larger, this more powerful job, whatever, but this is still a working mother.
And to include the male half of this, it's a working father also. It's in some ways what a lot of people experience, and I think it's what makes the show relatable. Two people who both have careers that involve a lot of time. They're trying to raise children. They've just moved. They're trying to navigate all these things and have a relationship. I think that's something that people will really respond to.
To give you just a chance to talk for a moment about your involvement in public affairs, because I know you've been involved through the Creative Coalition and you through UNICEF, and I wonder if you would want to talk just for a moment about those two things.
The Creative Coalition is an arts advocacy organization. I'm a great believer in the arts as sort of a vaccination against a lot of societal ills. We just came out with a beautiful book called The Art of Discovery, which is a book of photographs of celebrities talking about the moment where they discovered who they were going to be. And I think that supporting the arts in public education and for the National Endowment for the Arts is something that I'm incredibly passionate about. So I continue to fight that fight.
And how about, you've got a family connection to UNICEF.
I do. I'm working on the fourth generation. My daughter has now gotten involved in UNICEF and starting a club at her school, and that's pretty amazing to see, because I was very careful to sort of lay back and let her find her own thing, but an organization like UNICEF is very appealing to young people. There's a lot of empowerment, the idea of kids helping kids and trick or treat and through other things. And right now, with the Ebola crisis, UNICEF is really at the forefront of this issue, and she's responding to that. It's really, it's pretty incredible to watch.
Téa Leoni, Tim Daly, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
on
you.
Capitol Down.